Cooperative learning and interactive teaching. Cooperative learning. It is an educational approach which aims to organize classroom activities into academic and social learning experiences. Collaborative learning. It is the educational approach of using groups to enhance learning through working together. Groups of two or more learners work together to solve problems, complete tasks, or learn new concepts. Interactive teaching. Interactive teaching is all about instructing the students in a way they are actively involved with their learning process. There are different ways to create an involvement like this. You encourage your students to be active members of your class, thinking on their own, using their brains. Now it's time to move into an activity applying cooperative learning and promoting interactive teaching. The name of this activity is Teamwork in Tangrams. Lesson summary using a cooperative learning strategy. This lesson focuses on the group process and is designed to introduce students to working in teams using Tangrams puzzles. Another task based on a different content area may be substituted. In this lesson, students reflect on their interpersonal skills while working in cooperative groups to solve Tangram puzzles. Students share and discuss their group's skills using the numbered heads together. Objectives. Students will work in a group and use Tangram pieces to identify the relationship among similar and congruent shapes. Students will identify productive and obstructive behaviors in group work and will brainstorm ways to make group work more effective. For this activity, we need some materials. The number 1. Set of Tangram pieces for each group of students. And the number 2, reading materials for reflections and self-assessments. Step number 1. Begin a class discussion that focuses on constructive versus obstructive behaviors. Ask students to describe examples of each. Inform students that they will be working in a group to solve a Tangram problem and will later reflect on behaviors that assisted or hampered completions of the tasks. Using an overhead projector and transparent colored Tangram shapes, demonstrate with the students' input how to arrange Tangram pieces into different shapes beginning with a simple shape. Step number 2. Divide the students into small groups. Assign each student a number and a corresponding role. The go-getter, the timekeeper, the quality inspector, and the encourager. Make sure each student understands his or her role and remind the students that during the activity you will not answer questions. This will require students to practice cooperative skills. Step number 3. The group activity. The first task of each group is to arrange the Tangram pieces into a square shape. Then, groups reproduce a second design using the Tangram pieces. Allow groups 15 minutes to complete the two tasks. If they finish before time is up, students should begin listing the constructive and obstructive behaviors exhibited during the activity, and then discuss them within their groups. Remind students of group expectations such as use soft voices, everyone participates, and so on. Step number 4. The class discussion. Ask students to pair with one group member to discuss briefly the strengths they brought to the team activity. Students should be identifying ways to improve their group skills. Then have students in their groups prepare to discuss the importance of cooperation, teamwork, and communication by posing some or all of the following questions. To encourage all students to participate in the discussions, use the number of heads together strategy. To begin the discussion, pose a question and call out a number to respond to questions. Someone from each group should be prepared to respond. Call on one of those students to answer. Call a new number to follow up or clarify the answer. Promoting discussion. Continue the discussion by calling new numbers to respond to questions. And step number 5, the assessment. Students should write 1 or 2 photographs in their learning logs to summarize the discussion. Use the students' writing to assess their learning. Conclusion. Group learning methods encourage students to take greater responsibility for their own learning and to learn from one another, as well as from the instructor. Cooperative learning encourages achievement, students' discussion, active learning, students' confidence, and motivation. Using cooperative groups to accomplish academic tasks not only provides opportunities for students to develop interpersonal skills, but also gives them authentic experiences that will help them be successful in their future careers.